Amid all the tensions and global chaos, few important engagements are relevant at this point in time. And one very important engagement is between India and Germany. Chancellor Merz is in India. There were a lot of conversations that took place, engagement, but the fact that the meetings did not take place here in New Delhi, it took place in Gujarat. What really happened, why Gujarat, the symbolism of participating in the kite flying festival, all that and more. To discuss that, I'm being joined by my colleague Pranay Upadhyaya, who is reporting from the ground. Pranay, thank you so much for joining me. Let's begin with what's happening on the ground, or what happened on the ground. The symbolism, the beauty of getting the two leaders in a kite flying festival. Explain all of it, and then we'll come to the brass tacks of foreign policy.
Let's talk about the kite flying. Kite flying is often used as a phrase to explore possibility, and India and Germany use this opportunity to explore possibility, to expand their relationship, expand their ties, to strengthen their partnership. And this meeting happened in Ahmedabad, in Gandhinagar, at a time when India and Germany completed this 25 years of their strategic partnership. In fact, both countries are celebrating this 75 years platinum jubilee of their diplomatic ties. And German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who is visiting Asia for the first time, and he has chosen India as his first destination. So you can very well see. And this meeting is not a meeting between the two leaders of India and Germany. Rather, it should be seen as a meeting between world's third largest economy and world's fourth largest economy. And both economies consider each other's, and looking at each other with a sense of complementarity. And a lot of, the announcement and agreements concluded today clearly indicates that how India and Germany are looking at and exploring the possibility of adding that complementarity to each other's growth.
Absolutely. But it's not just the symbolism and the optics, because optics do matter. But what is happening is at the backdrop of what's happening in Iran, what's happening globally, what's happening with trade. And in that, there are some important announcements that were made. Explain to us how important they are and what were those announcements.
So if we dissect the diplomatic engagement between Chancellor Merz and Prime Minister Modi, clearly there is a realization that there is a complementarity in each other's need, and therefore we should strengthen our ties. But how it should be strengthened? What are the ways? What are the bricks, nuts and bolts, which need to be placed to strengthen these ties? And that's why you see India and Germany have decided to strengthen their defense ties. On one side, in Germany is considered as a powerhouse of technology, but they are deficient in manpower. India is a manpower intensive country, a lot of human resource we have, and we need good technology. And therefore, this is a ground, this is the meeting ground between India and Germany, that, India can be a source of quality manpower for Germany, because Germany want the Indian manpower, the STEM, professionals in the IT sector, trade sector, in their manufacturing sector. On the other side, India is looking at becoming a manufacturing hub, and we need robust technology. Also, India has offered Germany to use the Make in India, and over 2,000 German companies are already present in India, and now making India as a hub for their production, their expansion. German companies can expand their footprints in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and in other parts of Asia. So therefore, there is a meeting of mind. There is a meeting of meeting of their objectives as well. Besides that, this meeting is also taking place at a time, Geeta, when there are a lot of geopolitical and geo-economic tensions are there. Germany, being the leading economy of Europe, have realized that the over dependence of and let's talk with the name of the country, that over dependence of China on China is actually hurting their business interests, because now the German companies, are the world famous automakers. They are not being able to sell their cars in China, because now China has shifted towards the EVs, and auto sector is booming in India. And now Germany has realized that it's not wise to put all their eggs in one basket. And now when I was talking to some of the German journalists here, they said that we have come with the hope that India could be new China for Germany. Germany has always been a trendsetter for the European economy. We know that it is considered as the engine for the European economy, and German Chancellor has come at a time just ahead of of the important visit of EU Commissioner and EU President to conclude the India-EU FTA. So, with that context, also it is very important and very significant.
Right.
As I mentioned about the defense, Geeta, the submarine deal is considered as a very important decision, which has in principle been agreed during Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Merz's meeting, and the Group's CEO was also present as part of a delegation with the German Chancellor, and it has been decided they are the front runner for this over $9 billion deal.
Okay, we'll talk about the submarine deal because this defense aspect is really important, Pranay. But before that, you spoke about the India-EU FTA, and that's very important because this visit comes right before the EU commissioners coming to New Delhi, and they'll be here for the Republic Day celebrations. They are the chief guests. How important is it for Europe and India to get this trade deal through, given the pressure and the pinch all these countries are feeling because of America?
If I say, Geeta, the elephant in the room was Donald Trump, because both Germany and India are facing the pinch of his tariff policies. Europe has also realized that they cannot remain reliant and dependent on United States for the security requirement, for the technology requirement, and they need to explore. And for that, they need professionals. They need partners. And with that realization, on one side, the EU decided to restart the negotiation. You and I have been covering this India-EU FTA story for long, and it has seen the phases of active engagement and then hibernation phases, and we have seen it for long. But now there is a mutual realization. On one side, India is exploring. India desperately want new and bigger markets. Europe is a market India seriously exploring. Bilaterally as well and multilaterally as well. In terms of EU as a grouping, can be a sizable market for India to explore its potential and sell its market, be it in terms of the pharmaceuticals, be it in the sense of textile, gems and jewelry. So Europe can be a big market for India. And besides that, Europe is also a good market for India to export talented manpower. And that's the reason why India has entered into migration and mobility agreement. And let me quote figures here, Geeta, that the service sector, which constitutes around 60% of Indian economy, service sector has seen the India-Germany. If you see the figures of India-Germany service trade, it has marked the 12.5% increase in one financial year between 2023 and 2024.
Although Pranay, there was a lot of misrepresentation and misreporting on how many actually have gone to Germany. And I remember when you and I were doing the diplomatic diaries with the German ambassador, he had corrected those reports. And if our viewers really want to see what was said and how the German ambassador responded to it, we'll have the link in our description. Please go watch that video as well. It tells you a lot about Germany, India. But coming back to where we were, Pranay, while you were covering Merz, I was covering the new US ambassador designate's arrival speech here, Ambassador Sergio Gore. He hit a very positive note. He struck a very important positive chord here. But will that translate into a trade deal? Now, there's a conversation that's going to happen tomorrow. There are conversations that are happening with the European Union. Are we looking at things getting back on track, or is this just India trying to make the effort to be able to ensure that we do not fall into this entire abyss of an economic collapse?
For last few years, Geeta, I'm sure you must have also noted that India is trying to champion the cause of multipolarity. We are a good big votary of a multipolar world, and we are, in fact, exploring our partnership. And that's why the same question, when asked to Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, that on one side, Sergio Gore has said that we are progressing towards having an FTA with India but if that FTA is still stuck. On the other side, you are close to have an FTA with European Union, and you are, forging the stronger ties with Germany. So, is it like, can these two relations or partnership be compared, or can be seen as, a consequence of each other? Uh, so, to which Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri clearly said that, we do not see it this way. We are keeping both these tracks as a two separate tracks. Our partnership with the European Union is independent with our policy and engagement with the United States. We want good relation, good partnership with the United States as well, and we are engaging with US on bilateral trade agreement. You and I, we know that, how those talks are progressing, and
Hmm.
still there are certain hiccups, still there are certain things which need to be closed in. But besides that, India has made us as a good progress, and a very fast-paced progress in terms of concluding an FTA with European Union, and we have seen in last 4 5 months how it has progressed. Both sides have expressed there's a satisfaction with the progress, and why it is important. As I mentioned, that it's not about Germany. Germany and France are considered as the engine for the European economy. But besides that, be it Italy, be it UK, be it other economies of Europe, even Poland and Austria have concluded the migration and mobility agreement with India. And the basic fundamental and the basic premise of that agreement is that all these countries, Europe is facing a problem of aging population. They are facing a challenge of talent manpower, and that's why they are looking at India as a strong and a robust partner. We know that migration from India for long, it has proven its mental, and it's metal, and we have seen that how Indian professionals have made their mark in various companies, be it Europe or be it United States, or
That's right.
be it their contribution to the global economy. And that's why they are looking at the potential here. They are looking at professionals here, and that's why German Chancellor Merz has categorically mentioned that I extend a hearty welcome to Indian professionals to work and explore possibilities in Germany, and explore possibilities in the German economy.
Well, Pranay, is America not looking very closely at what India is doing when it comes to defense cooperation and defense ties? Because everything that India is right now procuring, they're looking at it from how DC is going to react.
Uh, but if you see, Geeta, that India has so far managed to keep the separation, because we never wanted our
That's true.
relation to be dependent on one country or another country. That our relationship with Russia, because a similar question when asked or was discussed during our engagement with the German journalists and their officials, that what is German outlook. Obviously, it is Germany's expectation. They do not want. It's the Western expectation that India should. Cut its dependence and its reliance on the Russian military hardware. But we know in India that what is the reality. There is a legacy issue. India's defense purchases has long been a complicated process, and that's why even if there is an in principle agreement for the submarine manufacturing, it may take some time, because we have our own processes, we have our own procedures, and we have to comply those contracts, those commercial negotiation, and until those things are complete, we cannot go and sign any deal. And so what the things we have covered, and we have discussed the similar procurements during the Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit. Russian side was hard selling. They were pushing the deal for the Su-57 fighter jets, or
That's
many
right.
other military hardware. But India will take its own sweet time, and it's a required time.
That's absolutely right. Now,
Hmm,
before I let you go, few very important other aspects. One is that the
hmm,
case of baby Ariha,
hmm,
that did come up. Prime Minister Modi has raised the question yet again, but the family is very distraught. This is a
hmm,
child who they've stayed away from. It's a legal case, a very sensitive one in terms of the report that the administration there has put out. So a sensitive matter even for us while we're reporting. But this is an issue where they've moved from handing over the child to saying at least let the child retain her culture.
hmm. Absolutely, Geeta. I know that you and I, we both have covered this story, and this actually your heart goes out. We are talking about a girl who was sent to foster care when she was just 7 months old. And you and I, as a parent, we can very well understand that when your child is taken away, what those parents must be feeling, and how they have been going to pillar to post in last four years. Now she's almost 4 years, and they are still waiting for her return. So definitely, that Prime Minister Modi has taken up this issue with the previous German Chancellor Scholz, and even with the new German Chancellor Friedrich Merz when he visited, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi got a chance to talk to him. He did mention about this issue, that this should be taken as not only as a legal issue. There is a humanitarian aspect. We are talking about a child, and who is not in the care of a parent, who is being raised by people, those who are in many ways they are foreigners. They might be kind, they might be good to Ariha, but she is not being brought up in her natural environment. She should be with her parents, and that's why when I asked this question to Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, he confirmed and he affirmed that did Prime Minister did raise this issue with German Chancellor. But besides that, he also elaborated that how Government of India is working with parents, how they are working with German government, and at every level with the German authorities, Government of India is engaging with them. And so far, they have worked out a mechanism with which baby Ariha can attend the Indian festivals. She gets the exposure to the Indian culture, Indian food. And even and Hindi as a language, because she her parents talk in that language. So whenever she get a chance to return to her parent, she should not be alien to in that family. So she need to given that kind of a cultural conditioning, and that is the issue. And he also mentioned that a new mechanism has also been worked out, though he Foreign Secretary said that I can't share further details on that thing. Let us conclude that mechanism, but we are looking at this issue with a very sensitive approach, and with a humanitarian aspect.
Well, absolutely. And Pranay, again, we're looking at a very important engagement over here at a very critical juncture. We've seen Venezuela fall. Iran is under threat of a US attack. Were these global issues discussed? What came of it?
Absolutely. These global issues did come up, as you know, that Germany is part of the talks for the Russia-Ukraine ceasefire negotiations, and as part of European negotiation, they are engaging with the White House as well. They are engaging with the Ukraine side as well. Besides that, the German Chancellor did mention during his press statement that he expressed his concern about the situation in Iran, and the way protests are being handled by the Iranian government there. And he said that the protests are the legitimate right of people, but the way these protests are being handled, the way internet is being blocked in Iran, that is a matter of serious concern, and the world should be looking at it, and we should address this issue. To which Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not say anything, but when we asked Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri about these issues, he did confirm that the issue of Iran did come up during the talks between Chancellor Merz and Prime Minister Modi. But after that, Foreign Secretary also made a very important remark regarding the situation of Iran, and therein he said that India has historical linkages with Iran. We have a number of diaspora and Indians living in Iran. Number is approximately around 10,000 people, and out of which many are Indian students, those who are studying in Iran. So definitely, at a time when there is an internet blockade, people are and families are not being able to contact their children. And students, their kids, those who are in Iran, and that is a matter of concern for Government of India as well. But Foreign Secretary did confirm that all Indians are reportedly safe there. Our mission is giving all possible help in these difficult and trying times. But the mission is running and extending all possible helps, and we are closely observing this situation, because if something happens in Iran, it does impact India, because it is in our extended neighborhood. We have our investment there in Chabar. We have our the commercial ties, and as well as we have our civilization and historical ties with Iran. So it is a matter of concern for India, and that's why Foreign Secretary did say that we are closely monitoring and watching the situation, what is happening on the streets of Iran.
As also the existence of NATO, Greenland? Or is
He did
that too
mention about
specific to Europe to discuss at this point in time?
Secretary did talk about Greenland, but he passed off that remark by saying that we know as much as you guys know. because there is only limited information. And so far, the meeting between Marco Rubio and the Denmark authorities are yet to take place. And so far, we only have media statement, and believe me, like there are plenty of media statements, especially from President Donald Trump. So constantly you have to keep monitoring his social media feed, and especially the Truth Social, and how much is truth. We can't say in terms of what exactly happens, but definitely things are fast moving, and we have seen that how consistently President Donald Trump has made his remarks regarding the Denmark, regarding the Greenland situation, and how he expressed his conviction and his determination that he wanted Denmark, he wanted Greenland for the national security of the United States, and rather was to ensure the national security, or the regional security of the entire Western Hemisphere.
On that note, Pranay, thank you so much for joining us. It's a long conversation we've had, but there was a lot to unpack. For our viewers, there is a lot that you can see on our channel when it comes to our entire coverage of what was said, the bilateral press statements, the on-the-ground reporting by Pranay Upadhyaya. He also spoke with some of the journalists there. Get all those reports here on India Today Global, but do listen to the conversation in full. It's an in-depth analysis of German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's visit to India. Thank you so much, Pranay.
Thank you.